Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Please tell me that you are not buffering. It doesn't look like I'm buffering to me. So let's just let's just mosey right along. I gave you guys my maudlin news, and then I moved on to show you the fancy little bottle I've got. So I was going to go through everyone saying hi and everything before getting onto the chat, but that chat's gone. So what are we going to do? We're just going to get on with what tonight is supposed to be about, which is your favorite camp tools, your first outdoors tools, I guess. Bushcraft slash paddling slash camp tools. And if I start to buffer again, then I will just be really grumpy about it. Works for me. So I'll just sort of really quickly say Destiny popping in, which is nice to see again. Started off with Marcus. Welcome to the membership, Mr. Marcus. Marcus being a channel hero. Chris is here again. Chris the Roadhammer, who is a channel hammer, as is David Evans. David is also a channel hero. Everyone's saying hi, Country Boy. I hope this works. So me too. Country Boy is also both a channel hero and a channel mod. Destiny in the house again. I hope nobody said anything absolutely fabulous last time because, it's gone. Yes, Russell is correct. Last time this happened, it was because I was on Wi-Fi. And here's the thing. I turned off the Wi-Fi, but it didn't improve. So what I did was I said bye-bye to all you, and I restarted the whole damn computer. So I have high hopes for the rest of this live stream. Christy is popping back in. Nice to see you, Christy. Christy, by the way, is a channel hero. Russell is also a channel hero and a channel mod. Everybody's just got to be nice. Just got to be nice. Country Boy says, all is good. I like it. Destiny is laughing at this comment. Your presence is present enough. I see what you done there. I see what you did. Everyone's saying hi. Peanut Trucker looking good so far. Birthday. Oh, yeah. I don't look a day over 52. Raptor Ranch. Hi. How's it going? I don't know if you were there for the fiasco of the live stream that I ended early so I could restart this one. But I'm glad to see you here. I hope you're having a great... Curmudgeon Alaska has become a... Maybe I should extend the size of that text. What's with all the... Oh! I see. Al just dropped a solid on y'all. Nice. Thanks, Al. Oh, my snap. So many memberships. What's my watch telling me? I just got a notification from the I Love Camping Facebook group. So yes, hi Raptor Ranch. Nice to see you hanging with us. Everyone's saying hi to Raptor Ranch. Tenenbaum is back. Tenenbaum has some nice camping tools, so I'm looking forward to seeing comments from him. Shawnee again, hopping in, saying hi. How you doing, Shawnee? I gotta move around a little bit. I gotta sort of adjustificate my my positioning. We got, how's it going, Jim? Howdy. Are you driving? Destiny says, sorry, but I love all the glamping accessories like those Korean YouTube channels. So cool. I watch them all the time, especially because they're so like, I was about to say they're so zen. What a stupid thing to say. But they're so like, they're almost ASMR channels in some way because they're just sort of doing the stuff, maybe because their English isn't so good. But I just love like how quiet and relaxed these channels seem because they're just doing their thing, right? They're setting up. I don't like that much glamping gear in my stuff, but I am fascinated by all this stuff that they've got. Fascinated. But yeah, so I watch those channels a lot. I do wonder how much money those channels spend on gear though, because it's like every video they have something new, or they have like this massive bunch of things that they sort of cycle through, you know? Did I show Destiny's comment, by the way? Um, like, I like watching them, but I don't know if I would enjoy camping with all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Grace is doing the God's good works. Please hit that thumbs up one more time to make me a happy, happy boy. Because it does make me feel like I'm not wasting my life doing this. Um, so the missus asked me today, "So are you gonna tell me what you want for your birthday?" And I was like, "Oh no, I totally forgot. Can we do this next year?" She's like, I hate that because everything I want is too expensive to ask someone for, you know? I just wanna say, Give me a little bit of money towards this." So Destiny is asking, are we talking tools or camp tools like heaters, lights, etc.? Whatever makes you enjoy being in the outdoors the most. For me, it ain't heaters and stuff, right? It's or lights. I mean, lanterns, right? I like lanterns that have fire in them. I like, but like so for me, it's really like, um, if I was to come up with like categories, like containers, food prep, woods tools like woodsman's tools, and like living, something like that, then I would say like this small forest axe is my favorite of my axes. I mean, it gets a run for its money by a couple of my other axes, but because I've had this one longer than any other good axe aside from my tiny little veterans, um, this is also the perfect size for most of what I do. If I was chopping down like a big honking tree, I would get blisters off of something this small too damn fast. But as just a general camp axe, this Gransfors, it's every line gives me the fizz. Just every line of it. Like, look at the shape of the head. Poetic, absolutely poetic. I'm gonna put the mask back on because I don't like having swinging an axe around this close to my screens. And then look at the look at that line. Just you know? So that's my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite cutting tool, but it's pretty damn close. Like, I don't have a passion for knives the way I do for axes. I have some nice knives. If I was to tell you what's my favorite one, it would either be that Australian, Woodlar clone, or actually, I think it's here. Or it would be, not that. Or it would be this ugly thing, which is also a Swedish tool. Um, you know, it's anathema to no, that's the wrong word. It's antithetical to everything that I love in a bush knife. That's not a wooden handle. It's not a Scandi grind. But there's something about this dumb thing that is utterly magical to me in its understated style, you know? In terms of saws, like I grabbed a few tools. I didn't grab my whole thing because it's messy enough down here. But like even for my saws, aside from my Silky, because the Silky is the one that I carry the most, right? Because it's almost like having a pocket knife saw. It's very useful in all kinds of small situations. But I also love me some big honkin' buck saws, and I have three. And it was hard for me to really decide which is my favorite between two of them. The Bear Outdoors one that I did a review of a while ago. Is it Bear Outdoors? Yeah. Well, now it's called the Bear Essentials Outdoors, right? But it used to just be called Bear Outdoors, I think. But here's the thing: neither of the guys who made my wooden buck saws are still making them, or like the bear ones are. Like everything he puts out is this super limited edition now, and I'm not going to tell you guys that just in case you decide you want to, buy something similar. Um, but my Agawa gear, formerly known as Agawa Canyon, uh, Boreal 21, solid. The way here for two reasons. The simplicity of building this from just this folded up thing to, to an actual saw is unbeatable comparatively. Oh no, I'm not on camera. Again, antithetical to what I like in bush tools. There's no wood on this at all. None. When you're sawing with it, it sounds metallic, right? Um, and you will definitely get hot spots off of this handle faster than the Bear Essentials one. But the speed of deployment is second to none. It's more solid. I was about to say solider. It's solider. It's more solid than the other two are. I mean, not by much because they're both really good saws, but it is. You do notice it while you're, you know. Um, this is an older one, so it still says Agawa Canyon on it, whereas now they all say Agawa Gear. Don't wreck the desk. Right. Folding it down again. Same. Very simple. One of the things in my assessment that I was just telling you guys about is that I have dyspraxia, which means that I cut myself and bump myself really easily. So that was just a little stressful. Know what I'm saying? When I bought this, the case was an extra charge. It wasn't too much, but now I think everything is a lot more expensive than it used to be. So like, those are just a few of mine. My Morris pot is probably my absolute favorite container. Absolute. Again, they're not making those anymore. Like, what is it with bush gear manufacturers? So like, we're just gonna make something long enough for everyone to love it, and then we're just gonna go and peace out. It makes no sense to me. Sell the patent or whatever. Man on the street says, "Oh, that was him gifting all those memberships. Thanks, Al. You're an officer and a gentleman." Jim says, "I love my axe, my knife, and my ferro rod. Those three pieces always go." So, I want to know what the axe is and the knife. I think I've seen pictures of your knife, but fire starting. What's everybody's favorite method for starting the fires? Man, that other screen looks terrible. What the hell's going on there? Oh, if that screen's dying on me, I'm going to be really, really irate. So like, yeah, as I was saying, axe, knife, and ferro rod are three absolutely rock solid. Recast the sentence. An axe, a knife, and a ferro rod creates a really good core around which you can build a camp setup for sure. Some people absolutely swear by a saw. Some people do not. I know that if I don't have a saw, what I can do is. So would I rather not have a saw or not have an axe? Here's the thing: if I'm in a forest with a bunch of wood around, like yay, And I don't have my axe with me. Maybe I lost it or something. I can saw halfway through a round, and if it's long enough, pick it up and like just whack it against a tree, and it'll split. I still really like to have an axe around though, because then I can make points and stuff. There's all kinds of things I can do with an axe, even making it sort of be like a faux knife at sometimes. So you know, but I also don't know if I'm saying that just because I just love axes. I love swinging them. I love looking at them when I'm not using them. So I don't know. I'm just going to sort of skip down a little bit because there's just a bunch of people getting gifted memberships here. There's Shawnee saying, woo how. Just let me get past that. Oh, my land. Al definitely did the God's good works, right? Yeah, Country Boy says, there's Al. Doing Al things as usual. Yeah, Destiny 2. The man on the street has struck again. Let me take my watch off because I'm getting notifications left, right, and center, and it's distractificating me. Lipstick Lodge was gifted a membership. Where's Linda been lately? I haven't heard from her in a while. I'm just sort of skipping on down. And skipping and skipping and skipping. And skipping. Destiny says, that's a great birthday gift from Al. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Russell's like, who is this Al person of whom you speak? He's a trade secret, Russell. A trade secret. Sean is like, favorite camping tools? You're gonna have something cool to say, I'm pretty sure. Raptor Ranch is all done fishing for a few weeks. Did you fill the fridge? Fill the freezer? Peanut Trucker had a great camp weekend, except you forgot your fan. I imagine down where you live, that's probably actually a problem. Like that would probably be awful because it's got to be like even now it's got to be hot. Destiny says her favorite camping tool is the diesel heater you can cook on top of. So neat. I don't remember that. Is that from one of those videos or is that something that we've discussed before? Jim says I'll be driving in 10 minutes, only a 30-minute drive nowadays. That's nice. That's cool. Yeah, that alert is going to go on for a while for sure. Absolutely. What the hell happened to my chat window? Oh, there it bees. There it bloody bees. Shawnee likes her cot and her camping toilet. Is it a chemical or is it a composting? Probably chemical. It will be done by the time he sees your message. Now hold on here, Christy. It's not done yet. Peanut Trucker loves his camping fan during the summer. How big is it? What I have here is just a. The wire is not long enough. Let me see if I can make this work again. Let me see if I can make this work. Add camera. Right now it's camera. Okay. Yes. Right now it's camera. Yes. Add extra camera. Yes. See that little guy there? It's about that big. Is that the sort of size you're talking about, or do you have something a whole lot bigger? Disconnect. Yes. Disconnectificate. Let's unplug that. Oh, damn. Everything's falling over. Oh, Raptor Wrench has a homemade axe from your grandpa. That's cool. I like that. Like home forged and everything, or he built one up from an old head. Serge was here, but he got distracted. Got distracted by what? By pictures of my axe? Little one. Jennifer has his battery. It hangs over the bed, but the outdoor one is electric industrial fan. Okay. I would love one of those old, those old industrial fans, like the big ones that were all like metal, like cast metal and all that. Oh, I would love one of those. Sorry, my sinuses are going on me again here tonight, guys. Christy says, I love our camping fan. It's battery operated and can hook up to a hose, so it blows a mist when the fan is on. Definitely needed here in AZ. All right. For some reason, I saw that as NZ. I'm like, you're not in New Zealand. But yeah, that sounds nice. A little misting. Yeah. Tenenbaum feels the same way about his Buck 119. It has served him well for 35 years now. That is a classic buck. I think I told you once that my father-in-law, who I used to go hunting with, he has one of those, and he's had it forever as well, since he was young. The blade on the homemade axe has his carvings in it. Nice. That's cool. Tenenbaum says, I've broken the tip off and filed it to a sort of triangular tanto tip, but it's still perfectly useful. It would be a lousy skinner now. Still. I mean, when a knife has been with you that long, you don't get rid of it, right? When you've had a tool that long, you know what it's going to do. It fits in your hand a special way. I do feel that way about this axe. I really do feel that way about this axe. I know where to hold it. I know where to hold it for the weight that I want, right? Like if I'm using it to sort of, like I know that with this axe, I can't hold it like this and get the control I want. I have to put a finger up here. Whereas with my tiny little Wetterlings, I hold it like that, I know how far back to swing if I'm trying to like really bust something. I know where in the piss on a biscuit. There we go. Where in the middle here is best for certain things. Like I know where the weight distribution on this axe is. I used to know who AS was, but I will admit that I can no longer remember who AS is. Disney says, so far, fan, cot, toilet, diesel heater, axe, knife, saw. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to ask, hold on a second. Russell says, I'll put a coat of axe on my put a coat of oil on my two favorite axes. Need to do a couple more. It's kind of therapeutic. It is. In fact, I need to axe up all my oils again. Yeah, I meant to say that. I need to oil up all my tools again. I'm going to spend an evening doing it when I have any time. But yeah, I'm with you. I love sort of doing a little tool maintenance every now and again. Tenenbaum says, yeah, the Boreal 21 might be the best advance in collapsible buck saws in recent memory. Plus the triangular Swede says to shame. Puts that. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, absolutely. Raptor Wrench still keeps a Swiss Army knife in the pocket. I really wish I still had my old Swiss Army knife. I don't know what happened to it. But like whenever I see someone who's like, yeah, I've had this knife for 40 years, I feel kind of envious because I lost my knife. I would still like a Swiss Army knife. That's a multi-tool I think I would carry around a lot more than I used to carry a Leatherman Spark something. something discontinued. I used to carry a Leatherman around, but I find that it's too bulky. I really do. I mean, I love the Leatherman sort of the gestalt of it, the whole sort of way it works and everything, but it's too big for me to keep in my pocket comfortably, and especially like in the summer when your pockets kind of get sweaty, because you're hot. I feel that this Swiss Army knife that I had when I was a kid, just the shape of it fits better in a pocket, doesn't get caught up on anything when you're trying to take it out. When you're trying to when you're trying to when you're trying to deploy the tool. Um, yeah, I think there's a real thing to Swiss Army knives. I remember when Simon was around all the time. I talked to him about Swiss Army knives all the time. He's got a bunch, and there are a couple that I just love, absolutely adore. Um, Russell says, "I think I have that same saw." I know you do. I believe yours has a green handle on it, though. But yeah, in fact, I've used yours before. When I saw the black and yellow, I was like, sold, slay. You know. Serge says, depends on what you consider a tool, but I'm really enjoying the trail cams I got your girlfriend. Now I feel like I gifted myself. It's a tool. I mean, is it a camp tool? I mean, if you're trying to make sure that there ain't no bears around, maybe, but whatever. I'm not gatekeeping here. I want to hear about the tools and maybe the toys that give you guys the fizz. I'm looking for a happy conversation. I'm looking for people to be excited about this thing, that thing. Shawnee likes her camp toilet. It's okay. Tell me what it is. Let's see if we can, get a link and see what someone likes about this, especially like a cot, because I am rapidly reaching an age where I may be looking for a camp cot rather than my inflatable pad and my hammock, right? Homie in the house. How you doing, homie? How's it going? Good thing you're here because we're talking about our favorite camp tools, and I'm pretty sure you got something to say about it. This case, yeah. I don't remember what it cost. I bought my entire saw kit from the Canadian Outdoor Equipment Co-op company. Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. Co-op. What? Or say what? So let's see what it costs now. Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. The Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. Let me just take a look. Boreal 21. Okay, so they sell. Shall I share the screen? What do you think? Should I share the screen? I think I should. Just give me one little second. Let me take the comment off. Let me share the screen. Too many steps to sharing a screen in this app, I feel. Because now I have to show it on stream. So, okay, so it's $50 now. I think this price range is because there's a 21, and they've got 3 sizes now. Yeah, they've got a 24, which looks fabulous, but they got a little one, which is not here. Okay, so maybe this is the difference in price between the 21-inch and 24-inch. Let's take a look. Let's stop hypothesizing. Select your size. Yeah, the 21, $45. The 24, $50. So, it looks different though. Hold on. Oh yeah, like it's got a whole different strap setup on it now. It looks completely different. Okay. Like this doesn't look like mine at all. Okay. Well, so there you go. This one's not Cordura. Mine is just canvas, right? It's not a Cordura or anything. So I guess they've upped their game. But look at this leather one. I would not spend this on a sheath. But this one, okay. So the one I have has the same strap setup as that, and it looks like it's the same essential design. Just mine has an Agua Canyon patch on it rather than that really cool looking heat stamped Agua premium Crazy Horse dark leather. You know what? I really do kind of like this. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because I have a serviceable case for my hacks. But man, that leather one looks pretty good. The problem with the leather though is there is extra work included, right? So it looks like maybe they've discontinued the one that doesn't have the black coating on it. Select your handle color, yeah. Huh. All right. I shall hide this and get back to what the heck we talking about. Everyone's in high. Destiny says that easy to use fire starter that Russian hacker had a few years ago was epic. I do not remember that. I absolutely do not remember that. I don't know why the hell I'm going to try and look that up. But anyway. Cinnamon says, I guess they're called Sven sauce. You're talking about the one that's perfectly triangular, right? Full, like, whatever, red handle, aluminium, and like the saw blade. Is that the one you're talking about? Because I believe that is called a Sven saw. I haven't actually ever seen one of those in the wild. Later, says Raptor Ranch. Oh, was it a butane torch? Russell has a big ferro rod. I also have a very large ferro rod. But my favorite camp tool in terms of fire starting, like ignition, it's not my ferro rods. Ferro rods are definitely easier than my favorite, but I do love my flint and steel kit. I love it. I've waxed poetic about the timelessness of it. You guys don't want to hear me go again, I'm sure, but I love the time honored, the connection to almost prehistory of taking a piece of steel and a piece of flint, and don't do it. I was about to just dive into like purple prose about it again, and I won't. But Raptor would rather have an axe. I love an axe. Russell Seth would also rather have an axe. You guys are on my team. Tenenbaum says an axe can do both things. It absolutely can in many, many cases. I'm going back to what we were talking. Serge is at least clarifying, but not the body spray. So this is that Russian hacker dude who was using a butane torch? Okay, it's good to know. Country Boy says, my favorite tool is my tote full of fat wood and toilet rolls full of dryer lint. I can start a fire no matter the weather. Yeah, fat wood is a real boon, eh? I have made wax and lint stuff before, like wax stuff, lint stuff, and everything. The lint really depends on what. I feel that the lint works best if you're using natural fiber. If it's coming from a load of laundry that was all natural fibers, because I feel that loads that are heavy on acrylics and stuff, it doesn't seem to light that well. Although that doesn't make sense. It's like it's a petroleum product, for God's sakes. Hi, by the way, hi Charles Nanny. Yes, I did. I don't remember what I asked. Let me scroll up. Crumbs. I don't remember what I asked, Raptor. Sorry. Ali G popping in. That looks like a couple of beers. Oh, I actually have beer. Should I crack open a beer instead of a whiskey tonight? Hold on a second. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Beer or whiskey at 10? Beer. Whiskey. Oh, but then for beer, I have to leave this. I have to step off screen though. It's just I saw Ali G's emoticon there, and I'll leave that open for 2 minutes because that'll give me 5 minutes to run about and get a drink. So like, hey, look who's here, Skip. Wow. Okay, how late am I? Oh, I'm like 20 minutes late. I'll just sort of rock it ahead. Hi, Skip. How you doing? Everyone's saying hi to Skip. That's fine. I'll skip and skip and skip. I mean, skip past. Shut up. Peanut Sugar has a 22-inch industrial fan, keeps the bugs away. I bet you it's. Seth said, my brother gave me my dad's smaller axe, so now I have both. Makes me a bit sad because I know it's because he doesn't see the point of keeping it if he doesn't have a reason to use it. But you do have a reason to use it, and you're gonna appreciate it. I know you appreciate it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, he made it so like straight up forged it. That's very cool. I love that. Charles, now you're having a brownout, having to use your phone. Brownout can be rough on your electronics, dude. You guys are counting my yawns, I think. One for myself, says South. It's contagious. Sorry about that. Raptor Ranch says, after he died, everyone took the money and the land. I told him I only wanted the axe, and that's what he left me. And some cash. They don't know. So I guess they're not watching the live stream with us. Tenenbaum says, AS is Anders Stromstedt. Yeah, I think you're right. I totally didn't even... Yeah. Anders specifically is like, yep, that was it. Is he still working there? Peter goes, I'm too excited to yawn. It's just time. Loving it. Loving it. Raptor Ranch says, I'm an old lady, and I'm so prepared in all the cases. Fair enough. Fair enough. My Swiss knives are still in my gun safe in the US. I believe I'm about to... I better sell my boomsticks. Moving right along. David Evans says, I've had my Leatherman for over 30 years, still like new. I love hearing stuff like that. I love it when you guys have been using, or you've had this tool for that many years, for like longer than some people's children have been alive. Well, longer than my children have been alive, anyway. Love it. Damn. Strömstedt. Okay, but in Swedish, would it be Strömstedt or Strömstedt? Like, I spent a few years learning German, so to me that's like Strömstedt. If anyone's gonna get that right, it better be you. You do have a Swedish keyboard. I tell you something, because of Duolingo, I have a Swedish keyboard on my phone, and when I open Duolingo, it automatically switches. But sometimes when I close Duolingo down, it doesn't switch back, and I have a hard enough time not... My typos are the stuff of legend, okay? Or so I've been told by people I've worked with in the past. But with a Swedish keyboard, I'm like, geez, come on. Jeez Louise, I say. Raptor Ranch and Flitz, Mike. Okay, fair enough. I love this. Country was like, do better, Tenenbaum. Zach Fudge in the house. How you doing? All hail the ale. I invested heavily into sleep comfort in my gear. Mosquito nets and thermocells are my favorites if we aren't counting bladed objects. But do the thermocells work outside though? Like I could see that maybe working inside your tent, but isn't it giving off like fumes? Like, do they get blown away? And if they're giving off fumes, do you really want to put it in a closed off tent? Let me check the ending the poll. Beer has won. So give me a minute to run and get one. I will run very carefully because the reason I stopped having beer on screen is because I kept gooshing it all over my keyboard. So I will be right back. I'm being very careful. So this is a Vox Stout. It's a Vox Populi Brewing Company. This is a chocolate stout, I believe. Chocolate stout au chocolat. 5.5% standard Quebecois beer. Oh yeah, but Zach, I was going to say, I completely understand investing heavily into sleep comfort because whenever I'm camping and I don't get a good night's sleep or I wake up feeling all creaky and uncomfortable, I just opened this in time because it's 21:59 right now. I don't have a glass though, so we're all friends, right? Whenever I wake up and I'm like, oh wow, not a good sleep. I don't have a good day. I mean, I'm in the forest. I'm absolutely supposed to be loving life, right? That's what the forest does. But if I didn't sleep well, I'm like, okay, let's do this. You know? Um, yeah, I got what you were saying. But Zach, what if we were to talk bladed objects? Do you have a favorite? Destiny's asking if there are any ideas for a small, easy to transport, works well water filter. Yeah, I have something called I think it's a Life Straw. Does it? Do I want to look that up and see if I'm right about what it's called? I think it's Life Straw. It's like a blue. Like if you're looking for something that's packable, right? Um, Generally, what I do though is um I boil the crap out of my water. Like like if it's murky and stuff, I'll filter it first. But I just most of the time I boil my water and I use a filter like that, uh, kind of as a like as a shift hits the fan kind of thing, or if if I'm not, if for some reason I don't want to build a fire, but we're talking about Jess here, so of course I'm going to want to build a fire. You know, what does that child want? She knows I'm live streaming. I will ground her for a month. I'm kidding. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about this, guys. Did it work? Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So that's what I do, Destiny. Um, Apparently, Destiny agrees with Raptor Ranch that cleavage is the best place to hide stuff. If I put on 1 more pound, I'll be able to trade notes with you guys on that. Anyone doing the just drinking game where you take a shot of whiskey for every yawn? Oh, excuse me while I pour a dram. Oh yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, so this chocolate stout by Vox Populi, which is local-ish to me, I believe. Oh, it's local as hell. It's by Oshlag Distillery and Brasserie here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Contient, no, contains barley, oats, and milk. Okay. Slanja. I like it. Oh, I like it. Oh. It's very chocolatey on the front end. Nice mouthfeel. And then there's like a nutty thing that happens sort of middle back of the throat. That would be infinitely better in a glass. Peanut Trucker's asking Destiny if it's a water filter to keep in the fridge or to hook up to a water line. Oh, I figured she meant it like to take on a camping trip. There's something else I have called I don't remember. I don't remember what it's called. I haven't used it in so long that I would have to replace everything in it. But it was, the creator was on a TED Talk. It sounded really cool, so I bought it, and it was really expensive because I was buying from the UK, and that was a time when the pound was a whole lot. Well, it's still a lot more than the Canadian dollar. But Russell likes Serge's game. I am in danger of drinking that down too fast. David Evans is asking, which silky portable saw do people recommend? There's like 20 different saws on Amazon.ca. Let me right-click on that, open in a new tab, and I will show you what I have. And I will tell you that I do wish I had taken the one that's one size larger. Silky saw. Oh, hello. What the hell's mine called? Gumboy. Oh, for God's sakes, Amazon. Why you gotta be like that? Oh, I love the look of those Outback editions, the beige and the black. I'm like, oh yeah. So mine is the mine is the 130 tooth one, I believe, and I wish I'd gotten the 170. If I remember correctly. I'm gonna check on that and I'll get back to you. But it's a nice pocketable size. It's sort of in the same size category as the what's like the big ticket one of these saws called? Oh, what's it called? Oh, this is bugging me. What's that saw called? It's like the other sort of big ticket one of these saws. Its competitor. It's actually been around longer than the Silky, and I don't remember what it's called. Tenenbaum's probably already answered that. Yeah, it sounds like depends on your alcohol tolerance. Tenenbaum says, "Kind of think of. I've had my Victorinox for about as long as the Buck. Together, they're a pretty capable pair. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. That sounds like a great pair. I believe mine was not a Victorinox. I believe it was the Wenger, which was eventually bought by Victorinox. Just remember back in the day, there were two companies making knives for the Swiss Army. There's Wenger, Swiss Army knife, brand of pocket knife, manufactured by Victorinox. Yeah, but let's do the history here. Wenger, yeah. Mine was a Wenger back in the day. Destiny says that she shall drink Pellegrino each time I yawn. Can we stop talking about it? Yeah, Tenenbaum, I see your link. Yes, that's the Sven saw, right? The takedown bow saw. I mean, it's they make a 21-inch. This I did not know. I just thought they had that 15-inch. It's just I don't like the triangular shape of it because it means that there's entire sections like where the angles are that you can't really use. And what's the name of the American takedown saw? The design of which hasn't changed in decades. But that one, like, you pull apart and put back together. Don't remember what that one's called. I don't remember what anything's called. Yeah, I know, Zach. I didn't dive too deep this time. Grace says, I like the Boreal 21. My son likes the 24 since his arms are longer. 14 is okay, I guess, if you're packing everything in. Yeah, I kind of wanted to get that little one for one of my daughters, but I mean, if I was to buy another Boreal, it would be the 24 because I feel that extra 3 inches of blade length would go really well. Like I would give one of my daughters my 21 and upgrade to the 24. I think that the 24 would give me more reach as well. Here's the thing though. If you're sawing in like in a tight space vertically, a couple of times now I've been like, here is a tree, 2 branches, and I've been trying to cut the lower one and I keep sort of hitting the roof of the saw, the top of it on the upper branch. So maybe the 24 would exacerbate that because just by definition, due to the shape, it's going to go higher on the high end. I'm just sort of scooping on down. I don't think I'm gonna have a choice. Due to my I don't know yet, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, Raptor Ranch's son just popped in. Everyone say hi to Adam. Everyone. Serge, I will bear that in mind. Like I may just have to sell them, or I may just have to shift them to someone else temporarily. I don't want to get into the reason why, but my recent assessment may create an issue. Did I just post something blank? Why? Dumb. Vox Populi is also a very popular mod for Civ 5. Weird. No, I mean Vox Populi just means the voice of the people, right? I'm sure like half of the student newspapers in the world are called Vox Populi. I do like me some Guinness. When we were playing the St. Patrick's Week slaughter at the pub this year, it was really weird because there's been a Guinness shortage, and so they were only selling the canned stuff instead of the pulling pints. That was weird. Tenenbaum, yep, Life Straw, yeah, including the fancy new stainless steel one for the third world travel use case. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm opening that in a new tab. Huh. Yep. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. A 1-pack or a 3-pack. Color cotton candy. Color wasabi. That looks great, but guava. Thistle purple. Oh, that one must be Scottish. Stormy blue. Midnight blue. Laguna teal. Apricot pink. Very nice. Everybody click on that. Everybody right click on that and open it in a new tab. Country Boy says platypus gravity filters are light and easy to transport. Those Life Straws plug up or don't work out of the box too often, in my experience. What the hell's the name of that bag that all the British guys seem to have? Mill something bag, Millhouse bag, not Millhouse. The hell's that bag called? I'd like to get one of those just to sort of do an episode on, Milton bag. No. Zach says, in terms of blades, in the pockets, it's your Spyderco Power 3 and your Gex 78. Belt has the LT Wright Genesis and your Swiss Army Knife Farmer X, Farmer 10, Farmer X in your pouch. I've seen the Farmer. I don't know about a Farmer X. Is that like an extra large one? But I've seen a Farmer. You carry a lot of stuff. Laplander, thank you. Laplander is what I was looking for. So maybe I have the 210. I don't think so. Maybe mine's the 180 and I wanted the 210. That seems to make sense to me. I got it. Wenger. Yes, I saw that you were talking to me. Zach Fudge says Wenger and Victorinox. Yeah. Tenenbaum says the other problem with the Sven is if you lose the wing nut, you're screwed. I could see that being an issue for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. I can see that there's a design logic to it, and it has that sort of Scandinavian simplicity to it, but I don't really like it. I've never bought it. I think I've seen it, and actually, now that I'm thinking, I've seen it at Mountain Equipment. Well, then it was Mountain Equipment Co-op, I believe. But like, something just doesn't look right to me about it. Like even the way you would hold it seems, no. Zach says, yes, the Bob Destroyed. That's the one I was thinking. That's the American one I was thinking about. I love the old school look of it, but the Boreal just absolute win. Absolute win. These guys make what are essentially Swiss Army knives without using the word army. Svitza.com. Let me take a look. Yeah, but I probably can't buy one, right? Huh. I've never even heard of this. They look like a Chinese take on the Swiss Army knife. Ooh, they make them in white. Are they expensive though? Like those are Swiss francs prices, right? CHF, so that's 54 Swiss francs. Oh, they come in all kinds of colors. They make them in blue. Actually, they look pretty nice. Laminate black. So that's kind of in a wood. It's an olive wood, which is very nice looking. Huh. Tenenbaum, do you know anything about these guys? Are they any good? They are Swiss. Yeah, okay. You think they also no longer do red scales, though they used to? I guess that has to do with avoiding being sued. Yours is also a Wenger, Jim, but 40 years old. Yeah, I guess mine would be easily 40 years old now if I knew where it was. Russell says Guinness in order of goodness, tap, can, bottle. Yes. Eh, you never buy it in the bottle unless it's like an absolutely imported bottle. But when you buy bottled Guinness here, it's made under license by Labatt, so you're not getting the goods, or at least it was last time I checked, which was like 25 years ago. Uh, Chris says, "Hi, Adam. I believe that's a Raptor Ranch. Yes, he said that's cool, and he needs a wife. Okay, fair enough. I mean, okay. TMIing the mom, I guess. Is Adam still here, by the way? Like, I realize I'm still a little late. Thank you, Zach. That's what I'm thinking about. The Milbanks bag. Has anyone used one of those? Tenenbaum as well, and Milbank, yeah. Jim says my buck knife is now over 50 years old. I think you mean years. I think that's a typo. That's. I mean, I'm only 2 years. Well, tomorrow I will be 3 years older than that knife. Right. Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum dragging me here. Oh, the former ex had scissors. Oh, I would. That's a no-brainer for me. Absolute no-brainer. I would absolutely get the one with the scissors. Raptor Ranch carries a buck in her boot. I realize, like, I haven't been carrying a knife at all lately. I mean, I don't look. I work from home 3 days a week, so if I need a knife, you know, so I don't really have to carry one. And like, if I lived on a homestead, I would probably always have a knife on my belt or something. But you know, Jim approves of the in your boot. Timo says, "Well, it's 70s tech, so you got a buck saw in that very small package before someone engineered the cleverness that is the board." I know, I know. I appreciate the time honoredness of it, as you know, I always do. But you know, part of me would still like a Distrude just to sort of have in the toolbox to say I've got a Distrude. And I love the fact that the design hasn't really changed. So you look at it and it still looks like an old school piece of tech. Russell is asking why Jim's drive is shorter now. That is an interesting question. So says, I have the voice of Woody saying, "There's a buck in my boot." Um, Jim says, I got a job closer to my home, left the city about 1.5 years ago. Zach says, Svitza is made in Delamont, Switzerland. Their saws are junk and ruin the ergos of the tool when closed. Oh, the saws in the little knives. Good to know. I mean, I don't think I can buy a Svitza anyway. Like, if I was to buy, if I was going to be like, it's my birthday, I'm buying a knife, I would buy a Victorinox just because familiarity, right? Um, they're not that different from the Vengers. Um, I've played around with friends' Swiss Army knives a lot. I know exactly what to expect from the brand. They're not fancy. Some of them are quite fancy, but what I mean is it's not it's not a rocket science tool, you know? I do find that some of them have too many tools. Like I don't want something this thick, right? That's not the size of handle I want. Well, I want something fairly small. Um, like what do I find is important in a Swiss Army knife? I don't think I need a corkscrew, but I know it's going to come with one. Like if you were to say to me right now, Jesse, we're buying a Swiss Army knife. What are you getting? I don't know what I would pick. Part of me wants the old school lozenge shaped handle, scales and whatever you get. But I do feel that some of the more modern shaped ones, I think the Farmer is one of those. There's a Sailor or something, um, same deal, kind of a more modern handle shape. I think that that's a more practical purchase. I have no idea. Tin Bomb says, today my Spartacus shaman actually got some use at work, had to cut a zip tie. I still dream of getting an Osborne. Absolutely dream of it. Why do I dream of it? Don't know. I don't I've I've just always really, really liked what I saw there. And I believe they make like a Tanto blade and no. Um what's the other word for the Osborne? It's the Benchmade 945? No, 940? Can someone check me on that? I was about to look it up, but I feel that I keep sort of getting distracted and looking at other screens, and I'm gonna try to stick with you guys. But yeah, the Osborne, I think it's 940. Love them, absolutely love it. But like not the Tanto blade, like the sort of the classic look. Um, green handled, I guess. I think they make a blue as well that looks really hot. But um, supervisor in a manufacturing plant, says Jim. Nice. Zach says someone brought a Destrute on alone, and the wood handle absorbed a lot of the moisture and was stuck assembled. Yeah, that would stink. That I would not be happy about at all. Because the last thing I want is an open buck knife, a buck saw. It's like an open buck saw just hanging out at my campsite. I mean, unless I can stick it up on a branch, but still, nope. Tenenbaum says, my first new Victorinox in 30 years was a Farmer X. Other than not being a locking blade, it is the perfect small knife / multi-tool. Yes, this is our super. Okay, question though. Oh, I don't have. Do I? Oh, I don't have one here. No, no, that question is a lot more for um, like Leatherman and stuff like that. I don't think that Swiss Army knives are affected by what I was about to ask, so I'm not going to ask it. Farmer X, eh? Maybe I should look into it. Why would I buy tools right now? When do I ever get time to go to the frickin' woods? Russell says, get a Swiss Army knife like mine. Just has the blade and a can opener. Small, fits nicely in the pocket. We have enough matching tools right now, Russell, between the number 4, the Boreal 21, the something else. There's something else that we both have. Oh yeah, the Russell, the number 1. Russell says, when I worked in IT, I carried a Leatherman on my hip for years. Used it every day. Yeah, everyone I know in IT carries one. Absolutely. Tea's a good drink. 940. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Getting one through the border, like if I was to buy one through eBay in the States or eBay in somewhere, it would never get to me. Not since the new border rules. So that would be an expensive mistake. I could not absorb that cost. Zach says, if you're carrying a one in the pocket, shoot for under 3-4 tool layers. Belt carry lets you get away with more bulk from extra layers. I don't want a belt carrier though. I don't want a knife on my belt when I'm in the city. I also I don't always wear my belt knife on my belt if I'm in the woods. Like sometimes I just keep it in my bag and take it out. I'm not comfortable with things on my belt. I try to sort of put my knife on there anyway, but I would not. I would not belt carry a Swiss Army knife. So I would try to keep it as small as possible for sure. Oh, David Evans is out. What the heck, David? But yeah, have a good week. Everyone's saying goodnight to David, so I can skip and try to catch up. Actually, I'm getting pretty close. Carving X, yes. I didn't buy one though. I really like the look of it though. I want to, if I can ever go and camp on your land again, I want to see that axe. Oh, Serge wanted to get the SOG electrician knife. Victorinox makes one, don't they? What was the electrician knife that Simo has? Because he has one because he used to do a lot of wire work. Something is $95 plus tax. Oh, open in a new tab. Oh, I didn't know it had the stainless scales on it. Hmm. It's pretty nice, though. What the hell? Ooh, they make some nice stuff. I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna lock in, as my daughter would say, to the stream here. Tenenbaum is asking Serge, this one? Man, you are on a tear tonight. Yes, I believe that's got to be it. Yeah, I've seen pictures of that one before. Oh, Serge, you can buy from Blades Canada. Boom. Open that link. Do yourself a favor. Buy yourself a knife. Zach says the aluminium scales suck in the winter. I would absolutely feel the same way. Yeah. Like, this is a little outside of the scope of tonight's discussion, but you guys know that there are knives I would dearly love to have. And one of them, as you guys know, is that Temagami in stainless or carbon. And part of that is because they really did think through cold weather with those scales, with that half tang, you know? I mean, there are many reasons why I want that knife. The fact that it's gorgeous is part of it, of course. But and I would still love a Jaguar. but he doesn't sell outside the UK anymore. Got too complicated to ship him. So I'll just have to go to the UK, knock on his door, say, make me a knife. So says it's more of a showpiece, but I'm okay with that. But I mean, okay, it's very fancy looking, but it's still a pretty good knife, though, isn't it? Well, at $80, it's probably not going to be an absolutely killer knife, but still. I don't love drinking my beer straight from a can. Russell says, I'd like a black Jaguar. Would really freak out the dogs, but I think they'd grow used to it. Where did that come from? So I guess if you got it young enough, then you could bring it up with the dogs. Random pet. I used to have a black cat. He was just lovely. But you wouldn't want a cat. You would want an actual Jaguar. Black Panther, maybe? Isn't a Jaguar bigger? Wait, which is bigger, a Panther or a Jaguar? Jaguar. I also wouldn't want your new pet to injure your poor little dogs. Your poor cute dogs. Them dogs is cute. Getting to the end of this. So, yeah. Sal says, forget the mice. The cat would eat the raccoons and the beavers, for sure. Tenenbaum asks, Russell, have you ever watched this channel? Luna the Pantera. I've never watched that channel. Zach says, I'd love an E-type Jaguar. Don't know about color. I know exactly what color. That dark green. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Russell says, oh no, it's a pronunciation question. Is it Jaguar or Jaguar? I don't know. I'm going to say that it's probably both. Tenenbaum. They have a black panther. They live in Russia. It seems to do okay with a Rottweiler. Interesting. Such a weird collection of pets. Not troubling at all. Oops. I just ordered some new syrups, by the way, for cocktails. One of which will enable me to make a cocktail that I want to do on one of my live streams. So look for that. I'm only saying that because I accidentally clicked into another window. SV says Brooklyn Green or BR or British Racing. Is it British Racing? Hold on. E-type Jaguar. I'm misspelling it. I'm looking for the colors. What color is that called? Maybe it is British Racing Green. Like, look at this. Look at this. I mean, I'm not much of a car guy, but that old Jag is everybody's type. Hold on. Where? Find my way. Where? I think that is British Racing Green, isn't it? Or I'd sort of seen the one in the back as more of a British Racing Green, So is this one more like a Brooklyn green? This is like what I had always seen them as. I mean, I know that that's not the only color that was available. Like they also made black and stuff like that. But look at that. Look at that beautiful machine. Hmm. Bloody lovely. Didn't work very well, but still. Hold on. Russell says, if a Jaguar and a Canada Goose threw down, who wins? I don't know. Jim is just clarifying that. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Sales thinks that the Canada Goose would win. Tim Mom says they had them together as a puppy and a kitten, which I think is key. Yeah, I would say that's probably key. Can you imagine trying to introduce a dog to a fully grown panther? Nope. Excuse me. Not loving the autocorrect tonight. Zach says in Spanish, J is H, so the English pronunciations don't really matter. Yeah, but except we're speaking English. Russell says, yeah, Jim, like how many times do I have to tell autocorrect that ass biscuits is what I meant to say? Okay. Fair enough. Oh, Tim Bob drove an S-Type one time and kind of want one. Just wouldn't want to pay what it costs to keep it running. Yeah. Look, some of my favorite motoring vehicles are the old Jaguar F-Type, almost anything Aston Martin, Land Rovers, like the Defender specifically. Discovery is not bad, but the Defender. But like none of these companies are making good cars anymore. Well, the Astons are still pretty good, but they have gone like the pricing on them is straight up supercar territory. And there are other things I could spend that kind of money on if I had that kind of money. But like the Jaguar and the Land Rover, the thing about Land Rovers, like 75% of all Land Rovers ever made are still on the roads. Yeah, but they were made before Ford and then Tata Motors destroyed that company, you know? Russell's out. What the hell? All right. Fair enough. So British Racing Green is later. So yeah, then it's the Brooklyn, the darker green. Why is Russell out early? I mean, it's only 22:40, guys. There's 20 minutes left. Jack said, I'd be more likely to buy an old Jaguar than a new one. Am I right? Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially now, man, with the new sort of look, the new logo and everything. That doesn't look like a car anymore. That looks like a perfume logo and everything. I don't get what they're trying to do. I don't get it. Country Boy says they aren't cars. They're lawn ornaments because they never run. So we know that Country Boy parks his cars on his lawn. Mark Davidson is out. All right, thanks for hanging with us, Mark, and thank you for the birthday wishes. What am I? What, like an hour and no, a couple of hours away. Serge says, honestly, I thought I would miss the vroom vroom, but after going full electric, I don't want to go back to gas cars. Yeah, I can't wait to drop gas cars. Absolutely. It's not a green choice to get rid of a perfectly working gas car to buy an electric car because making cars has an effect on the world. right? It's not green to sell a gas guzzler just to buy a new car. It's green to drive your car into the dirt and then replace it with something. Zach would buy an Ineos before I'd buy a new Defender. Listen, I love the new Defender, but I would not buy one because I know for a fact that they're hangar queens. Right? I know for a fact I would not be buying a good car. I would be buying a fabulous looking car, but if it's in the shop half the time, who cares? And they're so expensive. But I will say one thing after yawning in your faces that Toyota's has brought the Land Cruiser back. And I'm wondering if it's already for sale because I saw a Toyota kind of SUV thing that I did not recognize on the streets. And look, it may be that it was some model that like maybe the Forerunner has a brilliant new look to it or something. But I have heard that the Land Cruiser is coming back to Canada, which is interesting to me. Why the hell did Russell go away before the end of the stream? What I should do is every time Russell leaves early, I should end the scene by I should end the stream by playing like Rum on the Rocks. Just to be a brat. I mean, I don't have it, so I can't do it, but done. Absolutely done. My watch is no longer trying to get my attention, so I will put it back on so that it keeps track of my heartbeat and all that boring old man shift. I'm on the rocks. There we go. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we'll live without Russell around, but it's, you know. They were always around. They just made luxury versions of the Land Cruiser under Lexus. Yeah, but I wouldn't buy a Lexus. I know that they had discontinued sales of the straight Toyota Land Cruiser in Canada because they were afraid it was going to cannibalize Highlander sales. I guess something has changed enough. But what I'm afraid of is that they bring back the Land Cruiser as just another really high-end SUV. Kind of like, the new Defender. It looks all rugged and everything, but it's just a really expensive, SUV. And the beauty of the Defender was always that it wasn't the fancy one, So if they bring the Land Cruiser back, but it's gone like upscale, then I'm going to be disappointed because the magic of the Defender and the Land Cruiser is you could see it bouncing over the dunes in Africa or through the savannah, as well as you could see it on a farm somewhere. That's what I liked about these cars, and as soon as you take something like that and make it not out of place pulling up in front of the Opera, you have wrecked the brand or the badge, in my opinion. And they should bring the Hilux to North America. It's all it's on them. They might. It's just they're all like, we don't want this to cannibalize sales of that. If they're in too similar a market position, so it's and for a Canada like country, for a country like Canada where there's only like 40 million of us, these kinds of marketing questions take up serious headspace in the boardrooms and stuff because we're not a huge market. Granted, there's no Hilux in the United States either. And I think it's probably difficult to work around the F-150 in Canada and the US, right? Zach wants the Hilux Champ, but that won't happen. I don't even know what that is. Tenenbaum says, I want one too. I'm slightly more hopeful for Europe, so I shall now look up Hilux Champ. Toyota Hilux Champ. Oh, cool. We're never going to see that here, but holy cool. That's a cute little truck. Country Boy says, park my cars on the lawn. You think I'm some kind of Canadian redneck hillbilly? Oh, wait, never mind. Right, okay, it's Toyota's sub 15K truck. Yeah, I love the look of it. Yeah, General says basically everything you need and nothing you don't. Yeah. Zach says there's no Hilux in North America because of the U.S. chicken tax. I do not know what the chicken tax is. Is that mean that they're afraid to have too many Asian trucks taking up their killing the F-150? What I like is I don't drive American, okay? But Ford brought out, I guess, a mid-sized pickup, or like what I would consider to be an 80s sized pickup, called the not Renegade, that's the Jeep, called the Maverick. And I love the look of that. I love the size of it. I love the fact that in the box you can order it either as a hybrid or a straight up gas engine. You know, like the hybrid option is not some high end rarefied thing that only comes with the highest end trim, or any of that. Yeah, so I like that. I've seen a few on the roads and so cool. But it's a Ford, so like the interior is going to be garbage, right? Buttons are going to be popping out of the dashboard within 6 months. I'm in no position to buy a new car no matter what right now, though. So I didn't realize I was a Canadian redneck. Destiny says, I'd take a Hilux over an engagement ring if I was a young one again. Just saying. The Hilux is a really storied vehicle. Like they're very popular in certain circles, by which I mean outside North America. It was an import tariff on foreign vehicles with under 4 seats. Okay, I did not know that. I don't know if the Maverick replaced the Ranger. I don't know. You're not the first person to say that to me, but like I haven't looked enough into it because I don't want to. I don't want to start jonesing for a vehicle because I am in a position where I could very easily jones for a vehicle right now. The missus and I was about to use her name, then I would die twice. The missus and I have this concept of what we would want our household cars to be. That would be one full on electric for getting to work and back, and then one either plug in or normal hybrid for, hitting the road. I don't think the Maverick really replaced the Ranger though, because the Ranger is a slightly larger. Is it slightly larger or is it a lot larger? It's bigger than the Maverick, so it wouldn't make sense to me. Country Boy says the Ranger still exists, so I think we will see how things shake out on that. I think the Ranger is a little bigger. I feel that the Ranger is not like the full size of the F-150. I'm imagining it in my head, but again, I don't know enough. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. Like I wouldn't go to the mats for that statement, to defend that statement for sure. Oh, Zach says the Ranger now is as big as the F-150 was 15 years ago. I have a special hate on for the 150. I don't like I don't like pickups that size. I If I see one with like a construction decal on it or one that's full of gear and stuff like I get it. I get it. But I know people who don't do anything that requires a pickup, right? They have it as a lifestyle truck and I think that's terrible. Terrible is right. I think it becomes hard to justify the gas on that. Like I used to go hunting in an F-150 every season, right? I mean, I know the F-150 quite well. The older ones more than the newer ones, but I actually also like the older ones better. They have that sort of old school truck feel to them, whereas the new ones kind of feel like a living room on wheels. Um, Hold on a second. Country Boy says Maverick is an addition because the Ranger is now pretty much a full size truck. Yeah, I don't like the full size ones at all. Wait for solid state batteries. I don't have a choice except to wait, no matter how we slice it. Sales. I can't afford anything right now. Raven says I had a Ranger in '91, definitely bigger than the Maverick, but way smaller than the 150. I would like. You see, here's the thing. I like those smaller trucks because for me, what I would require for my pickup is I'm going to Renault Depot or whatever the Renault Center is called in your area, and I'm buying okay, a 4x8 of plywood, maybe a couple of bags of cement, and a ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not filling these things full of construction stuff and all that. I will at least a few times a year fill it full of camping stuff. So I'd probably want a tonneau cover, tonneau. Those covers. What are they called? So or something like that. But because I'm not going to fill the back of one of those very often, there's no need for a full size. And yeah, I like the size of the Maverick. And someone else has a similarly sized pickup. Is it Hyundai? One of the Asian companies, but i- that's only good for putting like four mountain bikes on the back of. Like the way it's designed, it no, that Ford one really gets it. Um, Hold on a second. Jim loves his full size Ram. Use it a lot, despite my wife's disdain for the gas guzzle. Zach loves his great grandfather's '92 Silverado with the blue trim. I don't know how big that was. It seems that trucks back then were not quite as large now. The drive back and forth from the city was awful on the pocketbook. I can well imagine. Was it one of those with two gas tanks on it? The old F-150 I used to go hunting in had two gas tanks. Sale says, I got a hitch on the car. If I need to haul stuff, I get a trailer. Fair enough. For sure. Country Boys. I had a 95 Ranger, 2005 Ranger, and still have my 2011 Ranger. Full-size trucks don't get me to the places my little Ranger does. I understand that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely, if I was to buy a pickup, it would be something smaller for sure. And I feel that there are more options all the time for those smaller size pickups. I mean, I say that without having a bunch of vehicle websites open in front of me, but it just feels that there's a bit of movement towards that. Um, Zach, be more like you to buy a GM new Transit van over a new truck. I would, man. What would I buy? Part of me would love that new electric Volkswagen bus. I say that because I know that at least one of my daughters would go crazy for it. I like to have windows everywhere. I like light and space. Jim says, very true, Scott. I can't get into some of the Forest Service trails without scratching the sides up. Oh, because it's too wide. Yeah. Oh, my land peoples. We're almost over. It's 22:57, and 16 of you are still in a white transit van. Don't park that near a school, Serge. Nope. Jim says, just finished my beer. Need to shut the lights down. Good night, all. All right, Jim. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good night. Sleep well. And I hope to see you next week. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, Serge says with free candy painted on the side. No. Zach says, Jim hasn't changed. Oh, crumbs. Jim hasn't changed their transit van since the turn of the last decade. I feel that you might be right about that. Everyone's saying good night to Jim. Country Boy says that he put a suspension lift in your 2011 as well as a body lift and taller tires. This little pig climbs like a mountain goat. Wasn't there a suspension lift and a body lift? What's the difference? What does that even mean? Oh, it's 22:59. Man. Up and Serge is out. He says, on that note, I'm out myself. Good night, all. Good night, Serge. Sleep well, mister. I'll speak to you at some point soon, I am sure. Yeah, everyone's just saying good night to Serge. Tenenbaum is still up. It must be early morning for you. So again, I drink to your bravery, monsieur. So, Zach says, and first Christy says, good night, everyone. Have a great rest of the week. I echo that. Zach says, I checked about 6 months ago and the interior is the same as your 2010 Silverado. The same? Interesting. Okay. That's a long time to have the exact same thing happening. Okay, we're at 11 o'clock, so I'm going to shut this thing down so I can go to bed and be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for work tomorrow. Destiny says, okay, bonsoir tout le monde. Happy birthday to Jess. Thank you, everyone, for a great live. Take care and see you next live. I see you next one as well, Destiny. And to everyone else, I say between now and the next live, please stay sane, stay healthy, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Good night, everyone.